Greetings everyone, please come on to make sure everything's set on up. The microphone is going. Rumble is booting up. Looks like Twitter's not starting up. Oh, yep, now it booted up. Twitch is going. And looks like YouTube's going. Looks like everything's starting on up. Giving me, let's see, time for the chat windows. Okay, the chat windows are going good. And give me a moment to check my other computer. And looks like everything is good to go. So let's go ahead and get started. I do need to find a game. This one has somebody viewing it. 1400. At least a good start here. What's this other one? This one shall do. Greetings everyone, and Grid here with another Age of Mythology replay. Spawn bottom right side is the blue Freyr. We have El Miro. Spawn top left side is the red set. We got Little Gecko. I don't know why, the graphics seem a little bit different. There was a recent update, and the graphics thing seems a little bit different right now. Just give me one moment. On top. Keep water down low. Looks like everything's fine. Yep, looks like everything's fine. So maybe I'm just overthinking it. Probably I am. By the way, when it comes to Relux's map, we do have the Staff of Dionysus to give a bit of villager health regen. We got the Scales of Catobella, but Belpos gives myth units increased pierce armor. Up here we do have the Nose of the Sphinx, gives more building hit points. Over here we do have the Titan's Treasure, make your age up cost 10% less. Feathers of Baifeng gives plus 20% for damage for human soldiers against buildings, not bad. And we've got the Ring of Nillenberg, gets a bit of coin trickle. Temple now being established by red. Anyways, also collecting some delicious venison. Does have some goats there. Blue is now aging up to Uller. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing the priest converting some deer. They're sending them back home. They're not combat units, but they are delicious. We'll lose 50 food to make it very safe. Let's see, what other animals are here? Got the pile of stones. The brown spots there is the shrines. Looks like deer may be the best animal from the collective. Oh, we got some bears. They're quite unbearable. We also got a temple in the middle. I wonder if there's something special this map for it. Either way, we do have, of course, Ular, give access to Draugrs. We also have Anubis to get Anubites. And some snakes. So this does provide the Asgardian Bastion. Got some caribou food, which do also provide 200 food, but they also seem a little bit more beefier, or venison-ier. Draw control on field. One of the few sources of pierce damage for the Norse. It also does a bit of divine damage as well. Do now the age up. The clairvoyance allows his vision to be reusable without using consumer favor. And Necropolis gives a bit of extra favor generation from your monuments. What do I hear? Here's what I'm hearing. I hear the Herseer being mauled to death by a bunch of animals, and Nubite does take out the Herseer there. Deer have 3.5 damage, slow attack speed. They're not good combatants. These exotic doggos do have 7 damage, even slower attack speed, and have a precise 93 food. The Nubite does get his snoot booped by the hammer. Snoot booped by the hammer. Blah. I screwed that joke up. We do have some monuments of villages being set. We do have Asgardian Bastion being summoned right here, being assisted being built as well. Nice thing about the Asgardian Bastion, it does give early access to Huskarls, which against the Egyptians, not too important since you don't really need to worry about counter. It will help them counter throwing with slingers. We can simply just throw not deploy something that get counter out by slingers. But we do have some throwing axe in the field, which are also good counter versus infantry. Actually, with a research, you get an early access to the battering ram. We got these snakes being summoned. Draugr taking some shots there against the Nubite. Got still some Herseers here. The snakes are pushed way forward. And we got a throwing action trying to build this settlement, or a town center on the settlement. Draugr being focused on by multiple priests. Got some more spearmans to push forward. Some axemans will probably be a little better. Axemans will also be a counter to the throwing axeman. Well, the throwing axeman will also be a counter to the axeman. Apparently, axes are good against axes. Some of the priests are getting hit by the throwing axeman, which they don't do any damage to them. Priests are just generic heroes. More spearmen push way forward. Spearmen are decently quick. At 5.3 move speed, that is fast as some even cavalry units. Like the chariot archer moves at a speed of 5. Which actually is a particularly slow mounted unit. Got multiple throwing action push forward, as well as another Draugr. And blue or red is still pumping out these spearmen. He's going for Serpent Spear, which always feels like the poison damage is actually very weak. Though these barracks are producing units, they do have a bit of a cost reduction. Getting away from me to highlight them. 55-25. They are normally that may be the same. This monument does provide cost reduction to them, so maybe I just can't view it with the replay viewer, or maybe it does get a. Show the cost reduction units up here, with the cost reduction up here. Not sure. A Scarl does go down there. Still got the Gillen Bersetti, which came to spawn out at this town center. We do also have this research here. Of course, I can't figure out all it is because it's the casting. The casting system is not a perfect, so I can't highlight stuff and tell you what it is. A good number of gatherers here being pursued by the spearmans. And we also have another watchtower being queued on up. It sounds like also spearmen engaging over here. That's a Nubite. Draugr fires a volley there. A Nubite does do a manual jump across there. Does save himself. The Nubite is pretty wounded. 5 health for me. Could just fall back to a priest, get healed on up. The Nubite does go down. Another round of spearmen push way forward. Got a handful of medium slingers here as well. Blue's economy is not super great at the moment, nor is red. At least when it comes to stockpile resources. Spearman stabbing some of these villagers. Gatherer does go down.
Hver þar?
We have some more Berserksmen on the build too. Spearmen are just being produced in pretty good numbers. Our Blue's just having trouble with its production. That throwing axeman should get a good number of kills there. There's a good number of wounded here. Gets 3 kills there. Looks like he will go down.
Yo.
More slingers being summoned now. Right now, red does have a villager population of 44. Blue does have a villager population of 37. Red does have a secondary town center on the field as well, but looks like he's actually low on food. Yeah, he's out of food, so he's not producing villagers. Let's push forward over here. Some of these Ulfsarks do go down. Good number reinforcing throwing axemen. Who's now trying to repair the Asgardian Hill Fort. It does have 40% melee armor, so the spearmen will do some decent damage versus it. And there's a Gillen Versetti. Looks like red was successful enough to force a very early Gillen Versetti. Does cost 300 favor to respawn again. Is very powerful, but not easily spammable. Priest is going to have a bit of time to heal up all these units. So letting out Gillen Bossetti time out. I wonder if you can put all 6 relics inside this temple and see what happens. There are 6 relics on this map. I don't know, this just seems like there's some sort of plot point to this map. It appears to be Mount Olympus from the campaign. Can't say exactly for sure. Don't know. Don't know these names of the maps off the top of my head. Now this research here is allows Asgard Bastion to be recast for something. I think it was cheaper. Some sort of research. Not sure what it was. Red's now performed for a good number of spearmen. This house here provides some decent spotting. Another Asgardian Bastion is being summoned right here. It will take a bit of time to get built, of course. These throwing axemen should be tasked on to get it going. No spotted. He may be able to pick up the Asgardian Bastion before it gets fully deployed. Probably pretty easy. Yeah, very easy. Asgardian Bastion does go down. And of course, throwing Axemans. We do now have Blue aging up 2 Agers, give access to the Rock Giants. Throwing Axeman push forward, doing some damage on these Spearmen. Who all start to push forward as well. It looks like Spearman will fall back. I'm always surprised how fast these guys can move. The poison attack is just a poison deck, no extra speed. I'm just always surprised how fast Egyptian Spearmen move. They just move fast. And also Red's now aging up to Nephitis, get back to the Scorpion Mans, as with Ancestors. Medium Axemen and now being researched copper weapons as well. And looks like all of those spearmen will go down to the throwing axemen. Red's now trying to obtain this gold deposit here, being hyper aggressive there. There's some walls he still need to complete. Red's just trying to grab the forward resources before back grabbing this safer resources. Now got some Huskarls been put on the field. Red's pushing forward over here. Not a whole lot of melee units.
Skipan.
There's Age Up. So both the players of Age Up got ancestors being summoned way over here. Trying to stop this council from being built. Well, getting pretty close to it. Red is pushing forward. Got some Huskarls and doing extra support. And there's the Tempest now being summoned in this region. And looks like the council will be interrupted, maybe forward destroyed there as well. Got a number of giraffes here. They are quite delicious. Scorpion trying to engage those wall segments. Red will fall back with this force here. Escape up most of the forces. Some of these crocodiles do get frozen. They are, of course, crocodiles. They're not exactly meant to be out in the winter. And the funny thing is, since it's frozen corpses, it's not actually getting defrosted there for some odd reason. More spearmen, more throwing axemen being deployed in the field. Got some raiding cavalry being deployed in the field. Overall, axemen still a very good choice. Just push forward with all these Huskarls. Got a good number of forces falling back. Mostly slingers, some spearmen. Red actually has a good number of goats here. They're not fully fattened, but getting pretty close. I think they're pretty ripened for eating. Got a number of chickens here by as well. Red's just going for all the forward resources, isn't he? We got some portable battery rams here, multiple forward hill forts. We may need some new siege workshops by Red. The hill fort being established, the giraffes are being eaten. Now got some chariot archers and more axemen for being pulled up by Red. Axemen do move at 4.5, much slower than the spearmen. Chariot archers firing away. Got some more snakes being summoned. They're not too great. Got a Moogle stronghold holds over here, and a lot of resources are being collected up over here. So Red's coming with some economy and infrastructure, but nothing too significant. He can still easily recover. Slingers right now trying to hit the battery rams. Not a great target for them. Slingers and chariot archers trying to engage the ranges. But the Huskarls do manage to get on top of them now. Red's losing some infrastructure here. Now got this town center being hit. These villagers could try shaking the battering ram. Red still has some good amount of infrastructure over here, and also has this town center obtained. Got some camels on the field. They also are a slight counter to range units, so they should be just fine with some of these units, as well as particularly against the raiding cavalry. Red is starting to stabilize, but of course there's a lot of forward infrastructure here by blue. Goats have been obtained. Red's right now down to 78 villagers, 80 villagers versus 95. Huskarls are going down to try and take time to clean up some of the infrastructure. Maybe try to get a siege workshop. So we got some battery rooms over here, knock down some infrastructure. There is now trying to re-establish the town center as well. A lot of farms over here. Oh, the town center did get destroyed there. Red still has plenty of gold to rebuild it. More Jarls been going field, as those All-Starks and killing Axemen. Trade Archers in a good spot there, just firing away. Their attack speed is relatively slow. They do hit relatively hard though.
Tilbúin.
Got some Huskarls now engaging these units. Huskarls just a journalist heavy cavalry unit, beefy cavalry. No more flyers. Red's forced there, and Red decided to fall back out of the game. This Angrade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay. I clicked on something. What did I click on? Not that button. Looking fine better. Here we go. We'll do this one. Greens have won, and grade here for another Age Mythology replay. Spawn right side as the blue Gaio got Gale. Spawn bottom left side as the red Shinog. We got HR, the Human Resource Department, and he shall die. As Human Resources, HR, you never want to do with anything with them. Got the guy's force power being summoned there, Zebra being obtained.
Skobos?
Oh, he's doing heroic fight. That's what was going on. I was like, what? I was wondering, what was that villager doing? Not collecting up gold. Either way, we do have some relics on the map. We do have the Knossos Horse. Heroes do more damage versus myth units. 100% increased damage is always quite nice. Dwarven Calipers. Siege costs less. this siege units as well? No, just siege weapons. And down here we got Wolfsburg Wagon. Give caravans plus 10% feed, 25% cost, food less cost. Excuse me. Which may be a good way to transform. You can go for your trade caravans maybe a little bit earlier with that. And the hosts of Nibelung give a little bit of a gold triple. Next unit's the Quillen. So he will get a free Quillen. It's our next age, just needs a little bit more favor. We do now have Oceanus being researched, give access to Claudia and the Servant. More of these Kafus being summoned, and now is building the town center now. Red is pushing forward with the Yazi. Didn't realize what he was aging up with, wasn't paying attention enough. Quillen does have the teleport strike, is a dragon dog thing with a sword in its mouth. No repeat, but it shall do. Claudia gets a nice little shield there on the Oracle. Heroic citizen getting shot up by the pioneers. Could we stand and fight against the Yazi? All these citizens are heroes. Claudia getting some healing there. Another pioneer pushing forward. Pioneer's now trying to engage Claudia. She's starting to get shot down there. I think the citizen will go down the current rate. Claudia is getting some healing there now. Not retargeting to the Claudia. Does get it built in time. Now citizens can stand and fight. Decide not to. You have some Javeliers point of view, counter range units with a slow attack speed. So right now we do have 2 town centers for blue. Red only has this one, though it has a very good number of goats. 16 goats have been obtained versus just the 8. And actually some of these goats were being eaten. Maybe a little bit too early. It does take a bit of time to fatten them up. And we do have now Reds forward here, trying to take out the Sentry Tower. Citizens getting hit. We do have a good number of Pioneers and Javeliers, so overall some sort of anti-range unit is going to be very useful. Pioneers are classified as ranged soldiers. Some throwing axemen. Turma here, another range unit. That'll be a ranged engage a range unit. Of course, it doesn't have access to cavalry. There's the Quillen. Turma does go down. This citizen's starting to take some damage. This citizen's not heroic. Does save the villager, but barely. Red's being hyper-aggressive. They do now have some halberdiers, which is good against a cavalry, which simply, well, besides Terma, can't apply a Contineris this age. You have now Gaius Force being summoned, which may trap some of these units. Oh, some of those units did get trapped. No, there's a bit. Oh, what is Red doing? Is he purposely trapping these units there? He might be purposely trapping these units right there. Turmo's starting to go down, some Pioneers going down. I'm not sure exactly what Red's doing. Citizens, one citizen does go down there. Right now, Blue just needs to get out some more Turmos, which he is. Javeliers have Simpson health, 5.5 damage, 3.5 multiplier. Turmas have 5.5 times 4 multiplier, 1.8 attack speed. So it looks like they both have really slow, long attacks.
Go for
Cavaliers have higher range, which is the important part, and looks like they have similar enough health, 77 versus 80 health, that's similar enough. Lots of those berry bushes have been obtained. The tempo has gone down. We do have still prosperous seeds available. You'll probably deploy some farms, get prosperous seeds going. It is a good food country. Can also make your other source of food last longer. Citizen took some damage there. If Citizen does go down, Turmos and Cavaliers now engaged. We do have some Dowel swordsmen mix on in, just a beefy frontline infantry unit. And more halberdiers been on the build queue for red. Only medium Javeliers, no medium Dowel swordsmen. We have only regular halberdiers as well. Yazi does charge straight forward. Carnivore could be quite nice, spawn next to the Javeliers. Cavalier does fall back. Why is his weapon glowing? I've got the mastery of weapons, adds a little bit extra range, and does a bit of a snare attack there. Okay. Carnivore has been summoned. Engaged in the town center. Looks like it does outdamage the build rate of the Kaku. And does go down there. Very nice. Javeliers rotating around trying to deal with the Carnivore. The Dowel Source will push straight forward. He will probably lose that one. Yep, he will lose one of them. Oh, that ability recharge time is actually pretty quick. And loses another town center. But I think a lot of this stuff does get refunded, right? Settlement now being built. We do have the armory here. And we do now have a military campaign set for front line, as well as clicking up those various fauna. We've got the various units right here. Machine workshop being established. I heard some heroic fire there. We have some heroic termites pushing forward. And it looks like I got a bit of lag spike from the lush terrain. I don't know why. It's always Gaia stuff that's always laggy on my game. Don't know if there's any way to fix it or what to tone down for it. Javeliers push all the way forward. Got good number of terminals here, but there's too many Javeliers. Plus terminals are quite large, so they can't really stack up. Not a big amount of damage density there. Gaia has already aged up, gone for the Herspedidy trees and the Symphonia birds. There is a early Tao Wu there, a pretty good siege weapon. And we do now have Lance of Stone there, but we give his Contineris a snare effect. Heavy Cavalry and the Poseidon's Secret. And do have some Prosperous Seeds being summoned now. somewhere. Here we go. Some prosperous seeds here. Those on the swarm collect up 0.92, while the other ones will collect up 0.62. One citizen does go down. More containers being summoned by blue. Looks like the guys just eyeing for our cavalry composition, which would be good against these Javeliers, that's for sure.
Go close.
Pullen may go down to the heroic Termos. Got another Prosperity Tree summoned. Got some drives on the field as well. Caladra slowing down the Pullen. Red's Age of Stones plays, going for Roshou. He's access to the Pixu and the Bali, however I pronounce it. There's a Bahu. With power structure, sends units flying, good against human soldiers, has some crush damage, good base damage, and overall looks to be just standard issue brawler with some knockback. Based on an upgraded Minotaur. Electric Blade now utilized, and now there's some stun attacks here by Red. You also bring the Fee Beast to help him out. See that Contineris is getting hit pretty bad with stun. Good enough these units getting hit pretty bad with stun. There goes the stun attacks. Now we got the pulse doing quite a bit of damage there. There's the Fee Beast, which does give a bit of poison effect there. More Contineris here. We got the Bahu push forward, and plus a Tao Tai here as well. More Dryads being summoned, of course, and going for more Argus Archers and Contineris. Argus Archers right now are just medium, not heavy. Good knockback there. Fort Palace is still up and going. He repaired up a little bit. Also does have a bit of help for Gen thanks to Guy's Flush.
Go close.
More Contineris straight forward. Red does pretty good grasp with here, and Blue decides to fall back. It's Angrade saying, "Think of watching," and on to the next replay. Ooh, that's a good one. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age Mythology replay. Spawn on the right side as the blue Poseidon. What? They changed Poseidon's icon? We got Coffee. Spawn on the left side as the red Oranos. We got Tag 2 Econ with a capital N. Why did they change Poseidon's icon? Is that the original? No, I don't think that looked like the original Poseidon.
Πρόσεχε.
Either way, it's been a while since I last played the original Age of Mythology. But I don't think Poseidon looked like that. Or maybe it was. I can't remember. It's been years. Almost over a decade since the last time we touched the original Age of Mythology. We now have a temple being established here. We do have, let's see, relics. We got the Feathers of Fenrir. It gives villagers increased attack. We do also have, I'm trying to click on that relic. The blue crystal shard gives villagers plus 5% faster gold and wood collection rate. Very nice. Burraboya gives some heroes some health regen. Very nice. And the crew drum. And here's to more hit point, more damage to start losing hit points.
Λέγε.
Got some goats here. And right now we do have Hermes being researched. Get back to Centaur and Ceasefire. Over here do have Oceanus, give a Calodra and Servant. And back here as well. Oh, that is the original one. I've tried to... That is original portrait for Poseidon. It's not around the gold border. That's why I didn't recognize it. I needed that gold border because I mostly see the icon when you ever do like set up a skirmish game and you see the gold, the various borders around them. I'm such an idiot. Either way, we do got Pumbaa being obtained. Centaur here, of course, got a heroic citizen there. Did not fire the air volley there. Calodra's going to be slowing down that horseman. Right now it has a move speed of 3.9. The citizen has a move speed of 3.8, so she could try shanking him. A number of goats here. More Centaur being pulled on the field, as well as Atlantia, the fast hero. These two heroic citizens are taking some damage here. Atlantia is now engaging the citizen. Roger is here for health regen. Does get a heroic Calpicus. The Calpipeltis is a anti-cavalry unit, but does also have a really high anti-myth unit modifiers when it gets heroicified. So it's actually pretty decent versus myth units. Got some Calodra there, just get some more health regen going. Atlantia can throw some spears up against them. And the Calpipeltis is trying to chase Atlantia. We do have now a stable being established, and another stable there as well. I sort of like the fact that if you have original icons on the playing, it will actually show you in the replay viewer that you're actually playing with original icons. How much of it is original? I'm assuming, yeah, these units still seem like original style. Yep, these icons still not original, retold. So it's just the gods that have the original icon. To be frank, some of the original ones are better. Like, I don't know why they made Gaia into a forest lady. Because technically Gaia was born from chaos, not from the earth. Pegasus is now pulled in the field. That may have been from the Hermes research. Hippus move around. Of course, got a number of these heroic Calpipeltis to engage those Hippus. You have another lure available in case Poseidon wants to deploy it on the field. Centaur, Scout, and Atlantia moving around. Atlantia is only the slowest one of the group. But got these Calpipeltis pushing forward. They do have a staggering 5.3 movement speed. Do they always have moved that fast? That's actually pretty quick. That is Spearmen, Egyptian Spearmen. I suppose they are the counter unit like Spearmen. And the claws right here, they're making easy pickings there. Look at this. I never thought about using these guys to pursue the various cavalry units. Roger to see a couple lances there. Triple Caladra, maybe a little bit too much. I'm curious, is the unheroic one, is that... How fast does unheroic one move? Only 5, so they do get faster being heroic. Which is going to be particularly useful against the Centaur. Now this Centaur has 4 health, so it's very vulnerable going down to anything. Looks like the lure has lured in a bear. Hippus won't get ripped apart here. And these guys do not have the medium upgrade. They do have an A upgrade. Let's see. What's this? See, Ocean increases attack and speed. Ah, that helps out. We also got the Ferroborea to give them some health regen as well, which is very nice. That relic is going to be very handy. Get both hero and regular. Just had to double check. Yeah, these Hippus move at 5.8, but these couple Peltas move at 5.3. With all this Caladria, now I understand why he's going for so many Caladria, just to snare the valuable targets. This is probably the best use I've seen of these guys. It's always seemed difficult to make usage of these guys. Marmellos are just very good generalists. It would make it hard to ward these as specialists. Blue's to pull out another town set over here. Blue does have less civilian population than its opponent. No watchtowers just yet. More heroic couple Peltas. We do now have some hand axes. No, and these guys not only have health regen, the Caladrius, of course, just heals them up as well. There's now some hoplites here. Of course, you need advanced next age to get access to some Hypastus. Or Hippus. Hypastus, yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Oh, looks like Centaur did receive a bit of health regen, or I just saw a plus symbol up there. The Hippus are receiving health regen, but looks like the Centaurs are not. Carnivore now established. Carnivore had no crush damage. This is the anti-Myth unit hero. You know what? Just put the Centaur behind the infrastructure there, and might as well get some damage. Not like it's going to do much else. And remember as well, if fighting was close items, these militiamen will pop out from these, and they will actually do decent versus these anti-cavalry units, because they're anti-cavalry units. Right now they're doing 8.8 damage, so that's not bad generalist damage as well. Farms. Blue's being looked at as building farms. Hoplites before, of course, they're not medium hoplites. But these heroic couple Peltas are a bit expensive right now. 165, assuming that's accurate. Total of the upgrade and the base costs. Empyrean speed gives Auratus increase the speed of infantry units even more. Whoa! What? 5.8? These guys are fast as the Hippus cavalry now. What is this build? I like it. Incredibly fast couple Peltas. We do also now have the serrated sword being researched, increasing Marmello's and Fanatic damage, as well as giving them some bleed. See, as 5% damage and give them bleed effect, which is faster. It does appears to be more damage over time than the poison spear effect for the Anubis spearman, Egyptian Anubis spearman. This birdie is treated on the field. Got some filling birds. This birdie is quite slow, 3.8 versus these couple Peltas 5. 8. Melos move only at 5 right now. What? And these supposed to be like some of the Ulfsarks. These guys are absurdly fast. Of course, with horrified units, it does cost a bit of favor. But still, Dionysus has been put on the field, which will of course allow him access to Bronze and the Hail Hydra. Heroic Momelos. Their speed gets increased to the 5.3, which is nice. Dryads are slow. Wait, Oranos. Okay, there's been one sky patches on fields. Like, I was wondering, like, we have not seen sky patches yet, have we? And those the sky patches are being upgraded with copper weapons, but they don't have an auto attack anymore, but they still get affected by copper weapons. I love how some things like, oops, we forgot to remove the fact that getting affected by an upgrade to increase its damage output, so now it goes from 0 damage to 0 damage. Because originally, sky patches in the original Age of Mythology did have like a really pathetic arrow attack. Nice shockwave there, which is countered by a ceasefire, which is great for Oranos. Shockwave is a tier 1 god power, can spawn again for 15 favor. Ceasefire is a tier 2 or Age 2 god power that costs 75 favor to recast. That's actually probably a very good trade for Oranos. We do now have Tharkian horses. Dionysus improve your carnivorous Tharkian horses. Oh dear god. With regain hit points when they attack enemies, so they get lifesteal for 30%. Not bad. Is it all cavalry? All of his cavalry. Very nice. And we've got Spirit Charge, increases speed of cavalry and centaurs. I don't know the sky patches have that blue aura effect. This one doesn't have it, while this one does. Why? Sorry, I'm thinking, why does it have one has a glowing effect, the other one does not? I'm overthinking it, aren't I? We got a decent amount of heroic units here as well. I'm sort of surprised he went for, what's it called, Thea, rather than the Hyperion to get out Sons of Suns. Bronze now been summoned. Of course, not too much cavalry here. We've got good enough high passes. There's counter infantry versus the counter cavalry. Got some more medals mixed on in as well. We have bleeding blades. But the heroic nature of a lot of these units does give them extra weight to fight out the not great matchup. There'll be expensive losses, that's for sure. They're starting to fall back now. Blue took a bit of a beating there as well. Since Point went for a large number of anti-cavalry, he is not going for cavalry, which is a good call by Poseidon. Sometimes players just need to realize, don't build something that's already countered severely. In particular, the fact that, like I mentioned beforehand, 5.8 movement speed. It's sort of absurd. Heavy infantry now being researched by Poseidon. A little bit of late research now, isn't it?
Πρόσταγμα.
We got a sky passage here.
Πρόσταγμα.
Blue villager does spot a little bit, so does the Pegasus. And that's auto scout, right? Yeah, can't tell.
Έτοιμος.
Got a good number of Argus archers in the field, though there's a number of high passes or pole tasks to help engage them. Caladriel's gained some good health regen here. There's still 3 of them remaining. There was 4 at one point in time. Don't know how many were lost in total. We got now Hephaestus get research for Poseidon gets access to Colossus and to the Plenty Vault to give you plenty of resources. We do have a large number of Contineris being put on the field, which is good as a cavalry unit, not being countered by the Hypasus. Of course, a counter infantry unit, as I mentioned earlier. So just don't play out infantry, build something else. Got a number of heroic Memellos. They do have good DPS and attack speed. Bleed effect is okay. And now Poseidon's starting to age up now. We've got more Dryads. Gaia's pretty far from aging up. Or not Gaia. Oranos. I see. Or Gaia much more often. I think I remember as well from the patches, and as well some of the, sorry, I hit my microphone. From the balance discussions and all that sort, I think Oranos is... because they're not that highly favored in the higher tiers. Though, I always feel like Sky Patch does a powerful building. But I guess it's just simply not enough. Maybe there was a recent patch not too long ago, within this last week. And I haven't really read the patch notes. I cast too many games, and sometimes I don't slow down and read the patch notes. I do now have the heavy cavalry research. They engage there. Nice little shockwave there, knocks him the fell pass forward. Scintilling birds still firing away. I haven't seen too many of Blue's heroes in the field, but good enough to call Hypasus has gone down. Got Contineris advanced before, and bringing back a good number of heroic Contineris. Curious about something. So Lance, and of course, nothing too particularly great about Contineris. They're just they're just great for the fact that his opponent has no counter put on the field for them against them. But overall, they are not special in this time around. Argus Archers have no special upgrades. Of course, the militia are being summoned. Masonry being researched. Got the age up. Pull out the Plenty Vault immediately. There's no reason to wait for it. Plenty Vault contains plenty of resources at 4 resources per second times 3 different resources. So it's effectively, let's see, let's take a look at one of his lumberjacks. 1.1, of course, traversement. And gold miners are currently collecting 1.6, of course, no traversement. So it's effectively 4 villagers across 3 different resources. So 12 villagers of resources. Permanent and infinite, including the very valuable wood. Not wood, gold. What am I thinking? Not much. So got through Quadra. There's the Colossus. The Colossus does have the ability to eat trees and gold in order to get health regen. It's actually an ability in the base game in the original Age of Mythology, just that you have to remember to right click on a tree and eat it. I just imagine he just picks up a tree and eats it like a celery stick. That Contineris is getting hit pretty hard there. Polyphemus does knock around as well. What's the range attack does Polyphemus use against air units? Is it just throwing rocks? Boulders? Multiple storehouses there. There's too many villagers there. Yeah, more than 360s around. Massive number of heroic Memellos. Looks like whatever the Ornos build is, he has a lot of heroes. Able to build a lot of heroes. Though then again, other than Caladrios, he hasn't really built too many myth units. He may have a good number of oracles in the field. Red Blue's now pushing forward over here. Villagers being pursued by a number of forces. Hydra now engaging. Maybe the original Hydra. And the fortress does go down. Got these ready to push forward. Yeah, I see him. Just a quick glance at the minimap. I think I see a lot of oracles. I can't. Doesn't give me a build limit indication of how many oracles he's built. Got a good number of these forces forward, getting some good damage. Red's overall making pretty good gains, but he did lose a significant amount of his army. Up north, just a single militiaman.
Schools.
Yep, there we go. 4 out of 10, so it's nothing too significant.
UG.
More Mamellos, got some llama caravans being established. Number of farms down here as well. Poseidon could start getting 8 villagers onto the temple to start getting more favor generation to start really trying to produce plenty vaults. So Colossus is not bad, but right now Red's been deploying a good number of heroes, so it's probably not a good idea to go for a good number of Colossus.
Burek.
Got another Heliopoli engagement. We got the unique cavalry for Poseidon, the Heratos. The Heratos does have a 2.5 AoE splash damage radius, which actually is quite significant. It means it acts like the Age of Empire 3 Cuirassier, which are deceptively effective versus infantry because of the AoE. Additionally, they do have 16 damage, standard attack speed, and decent health. So pull back the cavalry there. They do have hitless movement speed. Of course, they do have that health regen from attacking. I wonder if that affects the AoE. So Red needs to more the call for this. He's starting to age up to Hecate, give access to Lampades. If I remember correctly, Hecate is the daughter of Hades, right? In which Hades granted Hecate some Lampades to carry these blue torch lights to help light her way around Erebus. If I remember correctly. People don't deploy out these cavalry all too often, and on paper, knowing my Age of Empires 3 logic, these guys should be excellent. That AoE is massive. 2.5 AoE is massive. Got all these Mormellos engaging these villagers, getting some good hits there. Blues have 78 villagers versus 100. Argus Archers being queued on up, which is a bad choice versus all the champion cavalry. We got donkey caravans going next to the palace, which is simply staying out of range. Nice little bit of shockwave there to give the Mormellos some breathing room. Does create an opening there. Could try escaping. Villagers need to keep on running. Heliopoli showed that walls are his boss. Yep, the Mormellos having trouble with the AoE damage, but these guys are being whittled down quite a bit by the Argus Archers. While they're not necessarily Argus Archers are not necessarily counter to them, doesn't mean get put enough of the damage to them, they won't go down. Now I got some more of the anti-cavalry units being summoned. They will take AoE damage, but they should be still durable enough to engage the cavalry. Blue's having trouble with her remaxing. Only has 2 of these cavalry cubes going. Go for more Hydras to hail. And right now, Orano's still age 3 versus Poseidon's age 4. He has put 8 villagers on to favor generation now. Cancels more of these structures. And looks like the donkey caravan's going straight over here. So he's need to get some extra defense area. Right now, Red has an army of 144 in the field versus 31. Donkey caravan's going down. And we do have a bit of walls going on now to control the Donk Caravan's pathing. Looks like Blue is going to get overran. He's having trouble reproducing. He has plenty of wood, just missing food, gold. Has a decent amount of favor. And losing a decent number of villagers now. He's being denied his farms. While Caravan's being retasked to a really bad path. 8 gold.
Burek.
It's got to do cost 3 population, and definitely more heavy than the gold, that's for sure. But look at them rip apart those Orgus archers. They do have plus 50% damage gold buckets, and also times 2 myth units. Res now push forward with a good amount of forces, including a good number of the counter cavalry units,
Yuji.
which unupgraded or unheroified does move at 5.4, which is still pretty good. Maybe a handful of destroyers wouldn't hurt. Right, just infesting Blue's base. Blue's not backing out the game just yet. He is ready to start Age of the Hecate, which also gives access to Tartarus Gate, which is going to cause some issues. Now I got a pretty sizable gate here. Sky Patch is being utilized. Fortified towns that are receiving some damage. More Dryas, more of the Argus Archers, more of these Catapultus. Yep. Not a great path to Donk Caravans, but at least something's better than nothing. You also have enough resources for a Plenty Vault, another Plenty Vault. Right now it's down to 67 villagers. Red probably does need to get out some destroyers or some fire siphons. Well, fire siphons not available in the next age. Got these forces pushed forward. Excuse me. You know, maybe these guys could get a little bit of siege damage. Maybe just +1 crush damage to help them out. As ways to help prove them a little bit. Another Plenty Ball has been summoned. And there's Tartan Gate. Tartan Gate was spawned on top of the structures, instantly killing it, whoever it was. And now here comes the Tartan spawn. Their effective mix, myth unit, effective versus everything. We got now these guys going straight for the Tartan Gate. It looks like some of these Tartan spawn are actually getting splashed down by the melee attacks of the unique cavalry. Tartan Gate has been destroyed, but there's still a number of Tartan spawn causing issues. Lampades does course, the 3-1 goes forward and field. She does explode upon death. She has a mix of range and divine damage. I'm about to sneeze. My apologies. Of course, 220 volts in the field, giving an extra 24 villagers worth of income. So add 24 to 66, so the condoms are not too dissimilar. Though the blues trade advance are not great, or just outright horrible, I should say. But he's doing a good job keeping these cavalry units alive, allowing the health regen to take place. But now we've got champion units that blues fighting. He's got some high passes now. All team gets a pretty good crush attack there. And the AoE damage of the special cavalry is doing quite well. Yeah, the AoE damage is very effective. He didn't lose any of those cavalry to those small groups there. Lampades got knocked back hard. Marmelo's trying to pick off some of these individual units. And Red's also trying to steal this town center. Does get town center built? Don't know if it has access to masonry or anything of that sort. It does have masonry, just not the other one where it's called. Mason's Guild? Like stone masonry, then Mason's Guild? I forget what it's called. Building health upgrades that cost food and wood. Now the max population of Red is 285 versus 185. And Red's also close to maxing out population. Blue's at 50 civilians in the field. Blue, oh, that's risky, but it's paying dividends. He's grabbed a forward gold deposit like that. Trying to go for the food here from the venison. That's sometimes necessary. He has no gold on wood collection, so he only has the 220 volts of wood collection, which is probably an adequate enough. But this deer will not last all too long, that's for sure. Polyphemus does have some crush jam to help out, but there's also a good number of fortresses here, plus a sky passage. The militia will slow down the opponent for a little bit, but nothing too significant. Paulus or Marmelos and now gets a nice little flank there, as well as the couple Palpus. Get the Huratos, push way forward. Counter bore there, which should be able to one-shot some of these Huratos. It does. And Red has superior economy and just numbers on the field. I don't think there's any way Blue can pull out victory this game. And Blue does back the game now. This and great scene. Thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Why is this purple? Why is that purple? Sorry, I need to Google that. I can't find anything. Why is it purple? Hmm. Not sure. I can't find anything. See if there's any other replays. It's an okay rank, nothing too special. No. Oh, it disappeared. Hello. Alright, let's see. What was another one that's similar level? That would do. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Age Mythology replay. Spawn on the north side is the blue Loki. We've got Fina TV. Spawn on the south side is the red Freyr. We got Elma's Clean 666. When it comes to relics on the map, we do have potential Tusk of the Ironborn, using cavalry hit points by 10%. Useful for either side. Skull of the Kriakovs. A group of monkeys will be summoned. Head of Orpheus improves swing line of sight, which is okay, nothing too spectacular. Spy. And armor upgrades. Anvil of Hepatitis gives armor upgrades 50% reduced gold cost. Osaki put a spy on this gatherer there. Three ox carts spawn field. Red only has the 2. More hippopotamus being obtained. And we do have Olor being queued on up. Give Axe Draugrs and to the Asgardian Bastion. Loki has not queued up Age Up. He'll probably go for the one with the trolls. What was it called? Orsetti? And looks like Loki's deploying a good number of dwarves in the field. Red's now deploying on Temple. Hippopotamus being eaten. It's best to eat the lesser food one. Focus eating one at a time. because they both degrade at the same time. The best choice to make them both not degrade at the same time is quickly consume one and then focus on the other. We do now have Force Set being queued on up, give access to Troll and the Healing Spree. Husbandry now queued on up, Troll moving around, ready to troll his opponent. And looks like Draugr got interrupted by the hippopotamus. First year straightforward, Asgardian Bastion being summoned in defense of the region, which is perfectly fine. After all, Freyr's has an upgrade, or something down his line has an upgrade to make it so all of his town centers and fortresses, or hill forts, including Asgardian hill forts, provide food per second. It's like 1 food per second, so it does promote a defensive playstyle because you do get their returns with it. And looks like Blue's deploying a large number of Herseers. Herseers I always feel is a little bit of a trap unit. They are actually misleadingly good, but it is Loki. He does, of course, have access to free myth units, and that is exemplified with more Herseers. Monkeys are here. Monkeys do rip through the wall segment, and the monkeys are pursuing the Ulfsark. Draugr gets a nice little splash damage there. Herseers engaging, and looks like monkeys are not classified as myth units. I never know about these sub units. Are they classified as myth units or not? But they are not. They're magic monkeys, some by relic, but they're not myth units. But they're so weak to hammer to face. All those snoots have been booped by hammers. Grass being obtained. We do now the Great Hall being established as well. It's a very fine hall. Asgardian Bastion does cost 100 favor, which I believe is an upgrade you can get. Yeah. Ring of Oath reduces the Asgardian Bastion favor cost by 60%. Also reduces the Freyr's Gift, adds -5 favor cost. Freyr's Gift. Can't think about Freyr's Gift off the top of my head. Freyr's Gift. Increase hit points of all units. This upgrade cost decreases. Oh yeah, that's just a global effect. My bad. So it's not that upgrade that provides it, it's the global effect provides that upgrade, which is only available to that said for Freyr. You now have a bunch of these Hussars forward. Draugr gets a good volley there. Draugr will go down. And got a bit of a fight here. Got some throwing axemen, which are a pretty good counter unit. Does from the far side because he needs some distance for his throwing axemen. Herseers are classified as infantry, so they receive a lot of bonus damage from throwing axemen. Throwing axemen are a counter unit. Oops, and I just realized something as well. With the recent patch, this top bar can sometimes be bugged out. My apologies. So we're going to have to switch back and forth between players for viewing some stuff. But they both have 2 villager queues, and they both have similar populations in the field and similar villager populations in the field. We do now have an ager to give access to the rock giants. Luke go for, let's see, he has access to, was it battle boars or frost giants, right? It looks like he's gonna go for some battle boars. And here comes the monkeys. Since they're free monkeys, and not really too particularly great. They're slow, so you don't want part any formation, and they have 35 health, 5 damage. They're not great, but they're free. Beggars can't be choosers. A rhinoceros being obtained. Delicious rhinoceros. Let's pull out more trolls in the field. Really trying to troll his opponent. How many trolls does he have on the field? And that'll be troll number 2. We also got the healing spring here to heal up some of these Herseers. Very nice. Blue's age up's almost complete, so is Red's age up. Speaking of monkeys, there's also more monkeys over here, except baboons. It looks like Red has enough favor for another Asgardian Bastion. Asgardian Bastion now being summoned. Red's now, or Blue's now pushing forward. These, first tiers do move at 5.3. The Raiding Cavalry moves at 6. First tiers moving so fast, large because of the Hall of Thanes. This Rock Giant won't do all too well. There's just too many heroes there. Don't be a hero, because you're not. And it looks like Blue's now getting the Call of Valhalla, gives Berserk's increased hit points and some favor refunds or rebate upon death. Guess you can call it a bit of taxation. Death taxes. Just a bit of their souls, nothing much. There's the battle board. And now we do have Red queued up again, going for Vidar, give access to Fafnir. Loki will probably age up to Hell to get access to the Nidhogg, though Ragnarok is still always a possibility. Either way, I do like the Fire Giants. Monkeys are advancing. And the monkeys do find axes. Battle board could be quickly picked on off there. Troll throwing some more rocks. Does taunt some of the Raiding Cavalry. Nice little pick there. Blue's now falling back with his army. He has excellent flaming weapons. Battle board is getting a nice little buck around. First here is coming for a flank. Going at some physical damage. Here comes the Tempest, the mate flaming weapons as well. Blue's gonna try to hit him hard and hit him fast. Got a free troll there to troll his opponent. It looks like Blue will hold off. Red is going to get some good damage done, though. Rock trying to still pretty healthy, and looks like Red is going to continue. He won a bit more handily than I expected. So, good number of those throwing axemen are quite wounded. We do have some Erdmen deployed in the field to experiment for the Norse. Town center does go down. Just trying to pull out some more Jarls, Gobies, Trolls, among other things. Red has queued up his age up, has not actually started it. Has a decent amount of units here. 3 trolls. Which trolls could do some good work done. The AoE boulders could start requiring some of these going axemen. We also got the monkeys once again. And red has obtained this healing spring, which is actually quite critical for these throwing axemen. Losing this healing spring is actually very important for Asgardian Bastion there. Look at all this health regen. Yeah, now blue, the longer the blue waits, the worse off is going to be severely. Does receive some boulders there. Red just stay back, build the Asgardian Fortress, build this town center, and let the healing spring do its work. You know how the Volgar research increases magic upgrades to Draugars, Revenant Draugars. Gives them plus 3% damage, adds 5 range to maximum attack, make it a little bit easier there. With fire far there, plus 5 range to maximum charge, and of course for give minus 5 favor. We do also have now the Servants of Glory, makes Herdman, throwing axemen, berserks move faster. And now with the sounds of the building field, red does have a forward spot to pull out the Gillen Bersetti, and it's also aging up. Blue's pretty far from aging up, trying to go for another town center here. That's actually pretty close to this Reno town center. These two are much farther apart. Some villagers are going down. Throwing axemen or raiding cattle going straight for the throwing axemen. We got boulders being thrown by the trolls. Trolls just sort of a moving forward, or just move order forward, trying to throw some boulders into the throwing axemen. But now they're being picked off by the first seers. Red has a pretty good advantage so far. Red right now. Oh, and looks like blue does back the game now. This is Grade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started on the next replay, I'm going to use the restroom. Please give me a moment. My apologies, I'm back. Let's see now. This one? Was that the one I just did? It appears to be a different one though, because that one's a bit more shorter. Let's see now. See someone there? Let's keep an eye on that one. There's also this name again. I am still really curious. Why is this one purple? No, I'm gonna take a quick look. There you go. Take a quick screenshot of that. Let's see. That's a decent rank one. It's also pretty long. This might be my last replay for tonight. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age Mythology replay. So on the right side is the blue Chronos. We've got Poop Feast 420. Sounds like a gamer tent name. On the left side is the red Poseidon. We got Snow with a star symbol in front of it. When it comes to the relics on the map, we do have the Black Lotus. Gives villagers plus instant farming rate, makes it better when you start transitioning to your farms. Got the Feathers of Fenrir, gives villagers increased attack. Up north, we do have the Staff of Dionysus, gives villagers some health regen. And we do have the Ring of Nibelung, gives the player a bit of a cold trickle. There's now deploying the temple there, trying to put in the back to avoid the deconstruction god power. Red has obtained some goats.
Herr Joes.
Blue has now obtained those goats. We do now, of course, have Hermes queued on up for Poseidon. Red Chronos have queued on up Prometheus. Does heroicize this oracle to pick up that relic. The gold trickle relic is quite a nice find. Gives you effectively one villager's worth, about half a villager's worth of gold income. Free permanently. No strings attached. There's Age of both sides, and actually, no, it's weird. We don't see a Chrono Shift temple. Blue's not going to be hyper aggressive. He's wanting the other aspects of Prometheus.
Bureg.
It looks like red or blue's now going for another town, so this is playing eco play, utilizing the temporal scaffolding to get faster construction speed. Red's going for some Hippus. Promethean will at least be an effective defensive unit for now. And there's a Centaur. Centaur won't do much versus the heroic citizens.
Scopus?
And does inside there, Atlantia can start engaging. There's also a drop relic there. It is the Feathers of Fenrir, giving villager attack, which actually is pretty useful for Blue to have for his citizens, so they can do their part. Oracle now engaging. Scout is down, and here comes the Promethean offspring. And here comes more Promethean offspring. Oracle is trying to get inside the town center. Does inside the manor. Red will fall back, only losing that scout. Time shifts is the manor a little bit forward there to support the gold miners.
Yuji.
Another relic to be obtained is the Black Lotus card. Another Valor has been established. Nice hop forward there. Blue, of course, has two town centers. Red is now going for his secondary town center. Red has obtained some relics. He has gotten the Feathers of Fenrir. Blue, of course, has got the Black Lotus, got the Staff of Dionysus, give villagers extra health regen, very useful for citizens, make them even harder to kill, especially to subsequent raids, and got the Ring of Nibelung to get that coin trickle. More Valor established to getting some extra food income. The Lord of Horses being queued on up, giving Poseidon's calorie increase on its site, and also a slight bit of health regen.
Burek.
Do now have some of these couple peltists push on forward in the field. Get some good damage on the cavalry. They move at 4.5, it's not too particularly fast, but I've seen Oranos couple peltists can get up to absurd 5.8 movement speed, the same movement speed as these Hippus. Got a Chrono Shift manner and a mainly built manner. Cherry bullets are now being established. We've also got the Oracle way back down south. Hippus push way forward. Does use the Valor Power there as well. Give a bit of damage, more of a couple peltists push way forward. They are counter cavalry units.
Burek.
Of course, the Uruk ones also have very high multipliers versus Myth units, times 9. And it looks like Blue's starting to establish some farms relatively early on. He does have, of course, a Black Lotus card. But it's still a good idea to go for some various meats on the field. Like these giraffes, maybe head down south with the baboons and the berries. Good picks there. Great micro from the centaurs. Does have to be another Valor. All the heroes are down.
Σκόπος.
That one looks like it's mainly being pulled out heroed, and does get a heroic chariot ballista there. Which heroic chariot ballista is interesting. He's fighting against cavalry. Not sure why he went for a heroic one of these. Those have times 8 multiplier versus myth units. Does I play a decent anti-myth unit hero. Citizens do back on off there. One citizen does go down. Oracle stabbing some of these centaurs. Looks like it's going to play some Ring Around the Rosie. Does actually miss there.
Hedgehogs.
Yuji.
Well, looks like these guys are still avoiding most of these attacks. And we've got some idle villages up here. Need to start being used to collect up these berries. Looks like nice size started up their age up. This got bugged out again. We do have now Dionysus deployed on the field by red. Kronos has a decent amount of income or resource stockpiled up, but red, however, has a massive gold. Poseidon has a massive gold stockpile, so he can probably go straight to age 4 if he so choose. Citizens trying to build some walls here. Dionysus has been researched. You now have Hyperion being queued up. You have access to Satyr, as well as to the, what's it called, Chaos God Power. Additionally, there's also an upgrade here called Sons of Sun. It makes all of your oracles heroic, all your future oracles heroic, at 0 favor cost. So it allows you to get some good favor generation. So all immediately going for some oracles. He has 0 on the field. Actually, that's probably incorrect. It says 0, which is definitely not correct. Because I see one right there. That number may be bugged out. It doesn't count the heroic ones. Of course, Chronos gets 2 satyrs as well.
Σκόπος.
The construction there on the fortress, very nice. It's not soft age up though. Going for Hephaestus, give access to Colossus. And of course, plenty bolts, of course. Looks like the Hydra does get picked off by the Peltus. Satyr's getting some damage there. So it's going to be finished off the Centaur, no problem. Haven't really seen any heroes applied by Poseidon, have we? Not even a Lady or Thesis. Oh, speaking of which, got Thesis and Lantia there. Got a good number of Argus Archers and Contineris now being employed on out. Argus Archers is probably not going to be super great versus all the Hippos. Contineris will be. Maybe Heavy Cav versus Heavy Cav, so somewhat equal there. Hippos right now, medium Hippos has 165, 11, and 1. Contineris right now have, there are heavy Contineris, so I have 175, 18, and 1.5 attack speed with a little extra range. Satyr will report the Centaur there. 1 Centaur remains. Satyr's due back on the far side of the walls. Does the Plenty Vault building. Satyr does finish off on the Satyrs. And there's Ceasefire there. For what for? Is it over here? It's probably for over here. Contineris decides to charge the way forward. Red is falling back, blue is going deeper. There are no villagers here. And ceasefire has subsided, and the Contineris are not engaging any sort of villager. Or anything for that matter. Contineris now advancing, trying to get some good damage done.
Πρόσεχε.
Colossus here for a bit of defense. Colossus does have great crush damage and great amount of health, and great survivability with the Devour the Trees button. Gotta eat his veggies.
Πρόσταγμα.
Hippos pushed by forward, they're just medium Hippos moment. Heavy tree researched by Red, and heavy cavalry being researched as well. Darkening horse will give us cavalry some life steal. We do have now the age up for Kronos. Helios. Have I ever cast a game with Helios? Gives you Hecate Gigantus as well as Mirror Towers. Got a number of the heavy Capeltus. They do have copper shields. Who's now falling on back as well. We do also have Sons of Suns being researched. And of course the Gemini. Blue or red has now 12 bronze. Now his bronze Colossus is covered in bronze. Argus Archers are focused on the Colossus. Getting some good damage there. Satyrs just engage some infantry units. Thesis does go down there. More Satyrs in the field here. More destroyers. Colossus has gone down. Champion infantry now being used by Poseidon. Helios is almost complete. Which follows his god power again? Vortex. Vortex allows him instantly relocate his entire army somewhere. Great for follow-up strikes. And of course, catch your opponent off guard. And he does have an Oracle in the corner, so he can use that for spotting. You have now a forward Palace here. Some destroyers won't be half bad. I know I saw some destroyers in the build queue. Heroic Renewal being researched. That is something from Satyr 1. Hyperion. He still has access to Chaos as well. So he still has access to 2 effective god powers for combat. Blue Red's pushing forward with some storehouses here, trying to obtain this gold. Do have some containers in this region. We're playing around the rosy with the villagers. Polyphemus caused some issues, knocks back some units. Got multiple Hecate Gigantus before. They do have good enough to crush him. Their attack speed's relatively slow. They also have that nice knockback effect, but does not leave behind deformed terrain like the original Age of Mythology. We got now stone walls being researched. And also champion infantry and heavy champion range units.
Πρόσταγμα.
You now have Olympian weapons, giving champion heroes plus 20 damage and plus 100 damage against mid units. So may see some more Heratos, unique cavalry for Poseidon, which should be very effective for both versus Argus Archers and versus Mormellos. They have AoE damage to them, and that is more or less a hard counter to small units. You now have the Architects research now being, well, researched. And got some Prodromos on the build queue for red as well. No Heratos just yet. Deconstruction somewhere. I think somewhere up here. Yep, looks like deconstruct that fortress. Got another fortress here. Red's villagers are migrating up here. Maybe trying to secure up this gold mine. It does have full 6,000 gold. And I want to see Poseidon put 8 villagers on the temple and start trying to produce another plentyfold. And maybe a third as well. Getting extra plentyfolds is very good. Just free economy and a permanent source of gold, as well as wood if you want to focus less on wood as you go on. Just get enough trickle there to warrant everything. Champion Argus Archers do not appear to be affected by anything special. Here comes the Hippos, no Heritors. Looks like we get a very good surround onto these Argus Archers.
Πρόσταγμα.
We have Thesis here as well as Hippolyta to help deal with these satyrs. More of these Capapultus now being pulled in field. Baroque Oracle being knocked on out, and we still have both Axes of Chaos and to the Vortex. Looks like Carl's a really big fan of the satyrs. Most of the ranged myth units are pretty effective.
Πρόσταγμα.
Another Polytheme has pushed way forward and gave some more medals and destroyers. Argus Archers getting some good damage there. And we got some... Okay, they're now upgraded with Warden of Tartarus. Red's forces being brought in piecemeal, which is not great. He is going for some more Champion Hoplites. Let's see, Warden of Tartarus. I don't see them over there. Blue's now pushed forward. Capitolis pushed forward. Gives good strikes. Argus Archer providing some good fire support. As well as that Satyr. Some units pushed forward, including a Fire Siphon. More hoplites, more of the Hippos. Still no of the Heritors. Warden of Tartarus, what's upgrade for them? Increases their melee damage by 50%, so they're even very good now. They do have these amount of crush damage, so they can start crushing through the town center. Deconstruction there on the fortress. Argus Archers, I think partially getting caught up on the stable. No, maybe not. I guess Gigantus push forward. They do cost 25 favor, so a little bit of expensive side there. The Chaos Vortex is still available. Nice little knockback there. Porcelain Sun just do a bit of AoE damage and knockback. All the team is pushed way forward. Oh, got some Deacon mixed on in for some odd reason. Got some high passes, more Hippos being pulled in the field. Red is advancing over here, but I think Blue should be able to expel the advance. Another Valor deploy out somewhere. And we do have now some Fanatics on the field. They do double damage versus infantry and versus cavalry. They're just weak to range units. They do have some range armor, but nothing too significant. Alright, spoiled Titan Gate. I was not paying attention to that. Right now, Blue is going for a Halo of the Sun. Gives fire siphons increased range and damage, looks like. As well as fire ships. His own Titan Gate's queued on up. Bronze Wall is almost complete. Going for Petrification. Gives fire siphon. Oh, there's Vortex. And the Titan Gate is right there. And see what Petrification did. Spots the Titan Gate. Blue's now rotating towards the Titan Gate. The Hecate's Gigantus can knock the villagers around. And ceasefire. But I believe it does slow down production. No, it does not. Gives Red some time to fall back. Great use of ceasefire, but it won't last for another 17 seconds. This Titan Gate has 77 more seconds to fill completion, but allows them to bring this reinforcements back quickly enough. Some cavalry managed to make it back in time. Heca Gigantus knocks back a good number of villagers. Sun punch the gate for a significant amount of damage. Trying to punch down. Destroyers are hitting them through the villagers. Gate down to 5,000 health. 2,000. And down. And now Blue's Titan Gate is queued up but not currently researching. That's a big, big loss for Red. Red does also have a good trade line going. Let's see, they're going to this town center here. Maybe more lucrative to go this one. Of course, this one's a little bit under threat. Though some of these palaces are on fire. Your number of destroyers push forward. Destroyers have really good siege, really good armor, 50% melee armor, 76 pierce armor, and a little bit more armor going. Got some militia men here for defense. They are affected by heavy upgrades. See here, champion, but also with the elite iron upgrades as well. Destroyers for forward, looking for the town center. Got some fanatics mixed on in. Another town center goes down. Militia spawned on out. Militia do consume one population, so besides at overpopulation at the moment, he is advancing forward with his own Hippus, trying to clean up some of these units. He is time shifting forward a guard tower. Do have a Chaos summon right there. Not particularly great Chaos, honestly. Doris taking out more of these fortresses, more militia spawning out. Number of idle villages here. Trying to idle build another town center. Poseidon does have enough resources to build another town center. He does have a lot of gold. Loses town center again. Maybe some Colossus, some gold Colossus wouldn't be that bad. Let me go 120 volts though. And here comes another Vortex. Bring all what remaining reinforcements forward. More Hippus, more Hoplites, and more Hypasus being summoned. Hypasus being a good call, as well as Tox today's. Against that makes Tox today's don't hit the destroyers. Right now, the Fanatics don't have any special upgrades onto them. Blue's making great headway. Has give a good amount of forces here. Time shifting doesn't matter for trying to get this town center built, which it does. Red's just trying to string reinforce there. Got the siege weapons engaging the palace though. Palace does go down.
Scopos?
Villagers migrating around. More stuff time shifting forward. Red's still trying to advance over here. Got a fire set to help break the area for blue. But not crush damage.
Eugene?
Fanatics right there. We've got another fortress being established now. Right now, Kronos has enough favor for another vortex. It's pretty cheap god power. Looks like Blue's now re-advancing over here, which will spawn some militiamen to cause some issues. Got some Heritors being put on the field. They're an excellent anti-infantry unit. They may not have bonus infantry, but the AoE damage itself is anti-infantry and anti-ranged. Oh, we got some mirror towers being south. Does do 52 damage, slow attack speed though, but good range. Good range. Does range damage as well, not divine. I don't know why. I thought it would do divine damage. It's been a while since last seen mirror towers. I think last time I seen one was actually in the campaign. Looks like the build limit of 5. That's a lot less than I remember. But they do have more health than I remember. So again, I don't really remember their health all too much. They also do have 10 garrison space somehow. Fire section straightforward. Heritors and militia advancing. As more churches build, the more militia's going to charge forward. Fanatics going to have a lot of time, hard work in front of it, taking out all the militiamen. More watchtowers being established over here. Right now, Kronos does have a decent reserve of food and wood, but not so much in gold. Somebody has a mass reserve of all resources. Can you build a wonder right now? It says no, you can't. I don't know how much cost a wonder costs. 5,000 each. So it's the same as Ancient Empire's 4 wonders. But he's getting pretty close to his own wonder age, which could allow him to spam out plenty bolts. And that will fix the economy really quick. But right now, yeah, it's already a pretty good amount of income. And a good amount of stockpile resources. Right now, his population cap is his biggest issue. Got now these mirror towers, time shifting the way forward. And Poseidon now the 20 volts, probably a good idea. Orichalcum wall being researched by the Atlanteans. And he's researched his Titan Gate, yes, so he could deploy that out. Yeah, Titan Gate is available. Parados is quick forward. They do have light steal and AoE damage. So AoE damage is quite massive. Blue is now established the Titan Gate. And red has established a Wonder. Just don't look at the mini-map over there. It's a Monjin symbol. We do now have blue push forward. Problem is, the Wonder's being established right here. There's a good amount of forces nearby. Could break on through. Titan Gate's being established here. It will be built in 80 seconds. The Wonder will be established in 1,200 seconds. I need more builders there. But when it gets to age 5 of Wonder Age, it gets 150 regeneration. God powers cost 75% less, and brute charge 5% faster. And of course, his Mythos attacks get plus 100% damage and hit points, more 20+% speed, and the Titan Gate will be re-available every 10 minutes. I think, yeah, Poseidon should grab these 16 villages sent over here, double the amount, so we can have time to build up Wonder. Blue has a pretty good amount of fortifications there. Red has Grace for the Titan. Inheritors, of course, will have a bit of bonus damage against it, but not enough to warrant going to melee against it. Or Heritaros, whatever it's called. Got various star towers being chrono shifted forward. And here comes the Titan. Sheraton's moving forward, getting some good help for Jen. That other one gets knocked back. Titan Gate or Wonder available to finish in well, it's at 6 minutes, which is Titan will be there in less. And Red does back the game now. This hand grade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. As I mentioned beforehand, that shall be my last replay tonight. So everyone, thank you for watching. Have a good evening, and get